Hello and welcome back to my playthrough of the Ultimate Decades Challenge. We are in the second day of the year 1309. Margery is in her third trimester, so she will be giving birth soon. Agneta is feeding the chickens here. She has a loose tooth, so that's making her a little uncomfortable. I did want to mention that I realized, well, at least did a little research on the issue I've been having with hatching eggs. It sounds like it's a common issue that other people encounter as well, where if you're incubating an egg in the coop, it gets mislabeled as spoiled. So when the Sims clean out the coop, they actually throw away the egg. So that's unfortunate, and I think that's what's been happening with me. So I think the workaround is to basically not have them clean the coop when there is an egg incubating. So next time we get a hatchable egg, I will try that and we can see if that works a little better for us. We did buy some chicks last time, I think, so we do have 3 hens right now. I think one of them might be an elder. But yeah, so we have 3 hens, 1 rooster, so hopefully we can get some eggs soon. So they're gonna do some chores. Margery's resting, it looks like. When she's done with her nap, she can have this egg. And then she can do a little bit of canning today. Another thing people mentioned with the bug is if you send a hen to the coop, then they will sit on the egg, and that might help prevent it from going spoiled. Alright, Walter, I think you're all caught up on gardening, so let's go fishing. You might also need to step in and collect honey. Yeah, let's just sell the honey there as well. Since Margery's pregnant, I don't want to send her out there to get stung right before she gives birth. I just think Walter would be like, no, honey, let me do it today. You know, you can stay inside, do some canning, that's fine, but I was concerned a little bit there. She didn't look pregnant from that angle, but so I think Walter would be like, you know, just stay inside. I mean, she can hang outside as well. He just doesn't want her to get stung by the bees and risk any side effects from that right before she needs to give birth. She is really angry right now. Fear of uncontrolled, fear of unfulfilled dreams, and she's irritable. And she's feeling sad as well. Okay, I'll let her rest a little bit. Looks like she stopped in the middle of canning, but that's okay. You just got a fish. It's getting late, so I think he should collect that honey and then head back home for the night. Like the girls are awake. Let's finish the canning here. Agneta's cleaning up. That's nice. Very helpful of her. Now that I think about it, these canned goods might come in handy when they have the famine, because I believe the rules for that are that we have to get rid of all our animals, and I'm not sure if all of our crops are, I can't remember how the crops piece works, but we're going to have to rely a lot on just food we have at the beginning of that famine. So the canning is going to inadvertently help us with that. It's not like they would know the famine's coming, but it is going to be helpful. All right, let's just have some of this jam for dinner. I don't know how soon she's going to give birth, so I don't want her to be in the middle of cooking. All right, Walter. Yep, sorry, buddy. I figured that would happen. Yep, so he got stung, but did he sell the honey yet? You can just disturb the bees. That's a choice right there. Okay, Margery's in labor. He must have gotten the honey out. I missed the notification that he sold it. All these fish quick. I think we have enough meat right now. I also figured out that with the ye old cooking, you have to actually cut up the animals you get from hunting. I was a little confused why we never really had any recipes unlocked from that, and that's because I never butchered the meat. So that's another thing I'm excited to see how that will help us. All right, Margery, you can do it. Okay, a baby boy. That is exciting. We will name him Richard. And let's roll right away because last time they had a baby, I got kind of attached because they all interacted with him. And then he died. So, again, for this challenge, we do need to roll for our Sims when they are born, age up, and give childbirth. There are different roles for each state. I do have some slight adjustments to the roles compared to Morbid Gamer's original rules. So in my game, for babies, if we roll a 1, 5, 10, 15, or 20 on a d20, they will pass away. So let's roll and see if Richard survives. 4. Okay, so Richard will live. That is exciting. Oh, that is so cute. All right, Walter. Let's kiss his forehead and cuddle and just coo at him. I think you're taking the first shift because Mom went to bed straight away. So we also need to roll to see if Margery will survive childbirth, and she needs to avoid a 1. Okay, 15. I am so ecstatic about that. I am so happy they are both living. Oh, that is so good. Richard is our current heir. He's pretty cute. Walter can do some singing to little Richard, who's now their 3rd son, actually. So they have lost 2 sons previously. They will be praying very much for Richard to have a healthy life. I think Walter woke everyone up. Oops. Alright, so let's use cloth diapers, and feeding preference is breastfeeding. And Margery can feed Richard. And Walter, maybe just stop singing for now. That would be great. You can just go to bed. Agneta, did you not eat your jam? Maybe you should pull this tooth out too. You've been suffering for about a day with it. Alright, Agneta lost her loose tooth. I don't know if they believe in the tooth fairy, but we can have them do that interaction. So she's gonna put the tooth under the pillow. And Margery needs a snack before she goes back to bed. Yeah, you can have some jam actually, and let's put this other one in the fridge. A fair trade was made, but be not dismayed. Soon you'll have an upgrade. So the tooth fairy came. Nada's scared of the monster under the bed. Just waking up Walter to spray the monster. Looks like there's a lot of things they can almost make, but they're missing just one or two ingredients here and there. Pigeon, cheese, rabbit meat, chicken, spinach. So that's unfortunate. So they might just need to keep eating eggs for now. And we can send Walter out today to do some more hunting and foraging so that they can have more variety. Alright, 6 a.m. Let's clean the coop first and then collect eggs. See if we get any hatchables today. 1 vitality fertilizer. 6 eggs. None hatchable, 1 special. You can just sell that. I'm gonna sell this tooth fairy stuff too. And the fertilizer. Alright, Walter, it's pretty early, but let's go out to the forest and go foraging and then go hunting. And I don't know why all of our plants are dirt piles. That is concerning. It's still the summer. We might have gotten that bug. I believe they're fixing in the next update, so hopefully that won't happen to us again, but that's really disappointing for right now because that will impact their food supply. Alright, Margery is still recovering. Like Richard's awake. He's just hanging out. Doing baby stuff. Agneta, have you met Richard yet? You can talk to him a little bit, entertain him. She's feeling a little too hot. Maybe we should put this fire out. Alright, scatter some feed for the chickens. And then we can talk to them, get them happy. Walter is terrified while he's out hunting. That is not a good sign. Looks like his moonlight here says the trees have eyes. Creak, what was that? Crunch, eek, growl. Walter isn't alone. Margery, why are you sad? Oh, she's sad because of the strict dynamic. Margery, you need to have some breakfast here and then repair this laundry line so you can do laundry today. Oh, and it looks like your baby's stinky as well. Alright, Walter's back. He's still scared of the forest, but he did not get mauled, so that's good. Looks like he got some berries, some onions, pigeon. I'm gonna put the meat on this table so we can cut it up. Pheasant, rabbit, and some chestnuts. So then he can come here and cut the meat. We have the meat here. Maybe we need to salt the meat before we can use it. Let me check here. No, so we have a rabbit pie available now. Pigeon pie we don't. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep the pigeon whole. Maybe I was supposed to do that. And then I think we can also like salt the meat. We can make cheese. Maybe we should do that later. Okay, yeah, we don't have, oh, we don't have salt available. Okay, but we would be able to do that. I think Margery should, oh, Ada's congratulating us on our baby. Margery, let's, collect honey. And Walter's resting. Let's have him hide under the covers to try to get over this. And then Margery can make some cheese. Rooster's going at it. It's 2 p.m. I'm not sure why. Maybe they crow more often than what we're led to believe in the movies. Okay, Agneta is feeling hurt because her parents are paying some attention to Richard. She gets jealous quite easily when there's a younger sibling. I'm gonna have them woohoo. Try to have more babies. Jeez. You okay, Walter? Agneta's calming him down. That's so cute. Oh, she made us say better. Let's age up Richard, since he only gets 1 day as a baby, so let's just age him up since it's the evening already. Walter can take care of that. Alright, and Richard is an intense infant. These Sims have big emotions and are easily entertained, but they are also more difficult to calm when in a bad mood. Alright, I believe that's considered one of the more challenging infant traits. Oh. Sneezing already. Okay, and since he aged up, we do need to roll again to see if Richard will live. So we need to avoid a 12, 16, and 18 this time. So let's go ahead and roll here. And we got a 9. So Richard will live through the infant stage. What he looks like as an infant. His dad's comforting him. Let's do some tummy time. Oh, having a hard time with tummy time. Walter's gonna make a rabbit pie. Rabbit pie. Let's have everyone grab a serving. Oh no, Agneta's gonna wear the bear suit. It's not really A thing in medieval times. I'm sorry, Agneta. Okay. Richard's crying himself to sleep. Okay, maybe we should put him in his bed. Not just leave him on the floor. I'd like to apologize for my harsh voice this episode. I am feeling a little sick, so my voice is hoarse. Next, I would like to go into Agneta's story a little bit. So Agneta at this point is about 9 years old. Her best friend is Bubbles, or her true name is Brunhilde. She's the neighborhood girl who is the daughter of the Sistaris. Bubbles and Agneta tend to go to the village together since they are so young. It is a little bit safer for them to go together, makes their parents more comfortable, since it is quite a long walk. So they go to the village every few days together. They'll do things like sell produce and fish to the market, or buy produce for their families, or just kind of any errands that need to be done. On a typical day, they will chat and socialize. They're basically best friends at this point. Here's an example of a market shop. Agneta's buying a tomato for the family. So she's got her errands done for the day. It's time to go home. However, she does happen to walk around a little bit, and she notices this book on the ground. It appears to be a children's book for likely some noble child who is rich enough to be educated. She goes into the shop to see if they know who left it there. The book looks really dirty and kind of partially destroyed. There are like chunks of it missing. So the shop owner just tells her, you can just take it with you. I don't know who it belongs to. So Agneta takes the book with her, sneaks away to this bench, and takes a look at the book. She doesn't really recognize the scribbles on the book or the letters, but it's kind of a young child's book, so there's lots of images and only like 1 or 2 words on each page. So when Agneta goes home that day, and from then on, she starts to look at the book every once in a while. She starts to recognize the patterns in the letters, and she associates each word with the image it's next to. So she's basically teaching herself to read. She doesn't tell her parents about the book. She keeps it to herself. She's not sure if they would approve or not, so she hides the book in the chicken coop when she's not using it, and she pulls it out almost daily to do a little bit of reading when her chores are done. A few months later, there is a day where Brunhilde, or Bubbles, is sick and cannot make it to the village with Agneta. So Agneta decides to go to the village by herself. After completing her visit to the market, she takes a look at this building in the distance that she knows is referred to as a library. It is right behind the church, and it is the church library. It is meant for religious study, but Agneta is very curious about it. Since it is raining a little bit, she decides it wouldn't hurt anything to take a peek inside while she seeks a brief respite from the rain. The door is unlocked, so Agneta walks inside and up the stairs. When she enters the library, she sees many, many books. So many books she has never seen before. Prior to this, she would have only seen books at Mass or the occasional villager carrying a book around. She walked through the library in awe. She brushes her hands across the book bindings. Eventually, she takes one and looks at it. When she opens the book, there's so many letters, way more than she has ever seen, and she cannot comprehend what they all mean. A few moments later, she comes back downstairs, and as she walks down the stairs, a man calls to her. She recognizes him as Reverend Vernay. He is the priest at their church. He explains that he has been watching her and observing her go through the library. The Reverend reprimands Agneta for touching books that do not belong to her. Agneta tries to explain, but the Reverend cuts her off. He tells her that in his old age he struggles to keep the books dusted and cleaned. He tells her that there are some books lying around and that she should clean them up. He seems to imply that she's making up for her transgressions, but there is also a gleam in his eye, as if he knows that she will look at the books more if she's left alone with them. The Reverend tells Agneta that he will be back the next time the bell tolls. She picks up the books as the Reverend had demanded. She can see the dust on the book bindings. She uses a piece of her dress to dust off some of the books. Agneta finds excuses to pull out books that look interesting to her. She glances at the pages. Once the library looks neat and tidy, she takes a book and sits down with it. She does not even know where to begin to learn to interpret it. She sounds out the words that she knows. There are very few of these. She mostly looks at the letters, and she tries to understand, but she cannot. She realizes she will need much, much more practice, and she hopes the Reverend will someday let her come back. Agneta is lost in the book when the Reverend finally returns. His soft voice startles her, and he tells her, "It is time for you to go home." As Agneta runs down the stairs, she realizes it is late in the afternoon, and her parents might be worried. Agneta leaves the library, turning back to look at it once more. She did not know that such a unassuming building could hold so much wonder, and she knows that someday she will have to sneak in again.